Hi, I'm Bonnie Lynn Linke, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and welcome to my studio, Bonnie Stamps. Today, I have made a card for you that is with the new Trucking Along online exclusive stamp set, which is right here, and the Trucking Along Builder Sponge, which is right here. And I'll turn this way so you can see it better. And this is the card I made. Of course, I used my all-time favorite winter holiday designer series paper, One Horse Open Sleigh. I love this paper. I mean, for Christmas, oh, you can't get better than this. I got 3 packs the other day, and I'm thinking, oh, do I need more than that? So I'll think about it. So hurry and get it while we still have it. I know that the stamp set Trucking Along, they didn't run out of the punch, but they ran out of the stamp sets. But they are supposed to be available on July 17th, which I believe is the day that this video gets released to you. So, okay, and I used the adhesive back snowflake embellishments. That was part of the One Horse Open Sleigh bundle. And there's the inside. So now these stamps are two-step stamping. As you see, you got the outline, the frame, and then you can stamp the color. I hand colored mine with Stampin Blends, and I'm going to show you how I did the truck and the tree. And I love coloring with my Stampin Blends, my Copics. It's so relaxing for me, and right now that is something that I need more than what you know. But the two-step stamping is fun too. For those of you who do not like to color, you'll enjoy this. You'll like the stamps and so many different things you can do. But you have the truck. These are the wheels for it right here. Christmas tree, clouds, some nice greetings. You have palm trees. You got presents. And I think these are flowers right there. A regular tree, more flowers right there. And then this is the stamp to fill it in right there. And this is, you can put a side rack on your truck with that. And this here is for road marks, and it looks good. As you can see on here, I made it darker right here where it just went, and then they got lighter. So, all right, so let's get busy with this. It's just so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my coloring first. And I've already stamped my truck with black memento ink on white cardstock. I like to stamp it and let it sit for a few minutes before I start coloring. Memento ink is the best to use with alcohol blends because it will not smear it. But you will notice that I will use the Stampin' Up ink to stamp my tree. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that so it can dry a little bit before I want to color it. So let me get this. Let's see. I've already put my stamps on blocks. So here's the tree right here. And I'm going to use Shaded Spruce for this one. I didn't want the black because, well, there was no reason to use black. It's a green tree. And so by using the Shaded Spruce, get it nice and dark. And oh, I need to have my pad, my Stampin' Pierce mat right there. And a piece of scratch paper underneath it. Now I put down in the directions for a 1.5 by 1.5 piece of cardstock for this stamp, but you don't need that much. If you probably have a scrap that will work just fine, but I think you can get by with like a 1 by 1.5 or something like that. So we're gonna let that dry. Warning, and I forgot to fussy cut one out ahead of time. We have to fussy cut this. There is nothing I dislike more when it comes to making cards than fussy cutting. I just don't know why. Now for your coloring, this here, as you can see, this is a sorbet holder, dairy-free sorbet. I'm allergic to dairy, so I eat sorbet, and they make nice pen holders. And here I got my main tools that I use in this one. And so I have pins in another one. Oh, and on this one, I have strips of white paper. You know, when you get a strip, when you're cutting paper and you come up with this strip here, I put it all in here, and I'm actually using it so much more since I started doing this than when I would just keep it in my big file folder. So that's a good thing. Okay, now when coloring with alcohol blends, and red is your main color, I save the red to very last, because red is something that will spread and you'll have trouble with. And this way, if you start with the other colors, you get a chance to get your hands loosen up and you're more secure in what you're doing. So I recommend red last of all. You have less space to put where you don't want it. Okay, now for the inner hubs, I took my dark shaded spruce and did those. I know, they're usually silver or something like that, but I didn't want to do that. And then I took, next is the rest of the hubcap. And let's see, this should be dark smoky slate. Now I just took a little bit of dark smoky slate and I put it right underneath the fenders on the hubcap because it's a little bit more shaded in there. Okay, and I believe that's the only place we need the dark. And then this is the light smoky slate. And I go over that dark and just finish rounding that out. All right, and next I'm gonna do black. I'm gonna do the dark black first. And I'm actually gonna put, maybe just a couple dots by each fender. And then I'm just gonna do a little line where it sits on the road. Just like that, okay? Oh, see, and I already got ink on me. That didn't take long. I keep these alcohol wipes. I buy them at Costco. You get like 4 boxes of 100. That's how I buy them. I use them a lot. I use them to clean my pens. And with my Copics, I have to refill those, and I can make a mess. So they're very handy. And it also is a good idea to keep your caps clean. Not so much with these is a problem, but it is with the Copics. So. And then I just take the light black, and you could also use the dark smoky slate for this too if you wanted to for that part. So my tires are all done. Oh, I need the light smoky slate again because I need to, this front bumper, there's a tiny little piece right there. And the back bumper, there's a tiny little piece right there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take light balmy blue and I'm gonna very lightly put some streaks from the front of the window on the truck and then a little bit at the top of the back window. And now I'm gonna get my blender pen. I have a Copic blender pen because I can refill them. And I'm just gonna take that all the way to the back. I just want it, you know, a little bit of blue sky to look like there was something there instead of just plain white. So, we did that. So everything's all done except for the reds on this. So I'm gonna grab my reds. And this is dark cherry cobbler. I finally ordered cherry cobbler. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take very lightly and take my dark across there, kind of over some of these lines, but not all the way up. Just like so. And I'm gonna take it on part of the top of the fender and run it down the back because I'm thinking that my sun is coming, I'm driving into the sun, so the front part is going to be a little bit lighter than the back part. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm actually going to run my dark cherry cobbler a little bit higher up. And then again, I'm going to do it on the fender too, around the tire. Okay. And do some dark cherry cobbler right there. And then down at the bottom of the track, I'm going to do some more. I'm going to run some up the door here a little bit. Just do some strokes up. Okay. That's enough of the dark cherry cobbler, I think. Now I'm going to take my dark red. I'm going to go over my dark cherry cobbler and add more to it. I want some of that dark light red. No, this is dark red. I'm going to take it all the way around the fender. And I'm going to put some right here. And I'm taking it, I go completely over my dark cherry cobbler. And you have to decide where you want more of it at. Oops, I need to be careful. I need to use light up there. Now this whole back end though there's no light red going on right in here. Now the rest of it will be the light red. Okay, we'll see how that works. Yeah. Okay, now we'll just, because I can always darken up my light red. I cannot undarken the other places. And I run, and I go over both now the dark cherry cobbler and the dark red. So everything gets, all the red areas get a coat of the light red. And that's just to help blend in the areas better. Now along these skinny lines up there, I've got to make sure I am careful because I don't want to, I'm going to try and stay somewhat in the lines. I don't always. And if I do it really bad, go out of the lines, then I'll just start over again. Don't want to get it in the glass area, so I'm using a real light stroke around it. Okay, that guy is all colored. Okay, so now we'll do our tree that we stamped a couple minutes ago. Okay, and this is the top of the tree. It kind of lays in the truck, as you can see, as an angle. So what I do is I take my dark shaded spruce and I just take it along the bottom and go up just maybe a 1/4 inch or so. Get that, because it's where it hits the truck, so it's not going to be real light where it is. And if I goes down lower, that's fine too. You're not going to be able to see it the way I position it. And then because I have the shaded spruce ink from stamping it, I fill all the rest of it in with just the light shaded spruce. You can put some dark up here if you want to, but you know, I'm not that concerned about it. Whoever receives this card is going to be thrilled to see a hand-colored card, because all my family members and everybody, they know the difference. They've been receiving my cards enough years now, they know when I color them. And I know that looks kind of odd right there. So, you know, if you want to, you can add another branch in there, you know, kind of take this out like so, just like that. Just be careful when you cut it out. Okay, we are going to punch our truck. Whoops, that's the tree. Okay, now you see, because I color on a hard surface, that way I'm able to blend. And that's another reason why I have these wipes. I just take it and I go like that. Now, there are different hard surfaces you can color on. I have this old non-Stampin' Up matte, that would work. As long as it's not paper. Paper would absorb that, would have absorbed all that red, and it wouldn't have blended as well. I also, when I'm not doing videos, I have a glass top from, the one who does all the Ranger inks, Tim Holtz. He has a glass top out there, and it's nice for coloring on. And it also has an area like you could put your, if you're, you could stamp ink on it and take it out with your watercolors if you're watercoloring and stuff. So the glass tabletop is really pretty nice. They're expensive though. Okay, you just sit that in there. I left that a little long. My directions was long enough so that you had that tab to help position it. So there it is right there. Okay, and this is, so let's see. I don't know what that is right offhand. I think it may be a bumper. That looks like it's a window, and that's a tire. Yeah, I think that's your fender that goes over your tire. And then I'll close this up. Okay. Now I apologize. I forgot to cut one of these out ahead of time. I meant to try it on my, I have a Brothers cut and scan machine. I was going to try it last night on that and totally forgot. I wish I would have remembered before I started filming the video, or else I would have at least hand cut this out ahead of time. As I said, I'm not very good at fussy cutting. So I'm under pressure now. But as you're watching this, if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know that you like it. YouTube loves it when people leave comments and they gives us a thumb up. And there are written directions along with all the supplies on my blog, and I also have a button there that you can press on, and it will give you a PDF that you can either save to your computer or you can print it out, or both. And my Facebook is Bonnie-Lynn Linky, Paper Crafter, say at the top. You'll recognize my logo. And go over and like it. And if you make this card, I would love to see you post a picture of it. Or any of your cards. I would love to see you post pictures of any of your cards. How else can we grow and admire your work if you don't post it for us? And if you order from me in July and August and use my host code, you will get my free tutorial. And for those 2 months, it is the Gone Fishing one. And I still have one more video to do for it. And I hope to get that done today or tomorrow. All the written instructions, I have one more card to write the instructions out for. I'm sorry that I'm slow doing it. Just some family stuff, unexpected, that kind of knocked the wind out of us came up this month, and we're trying to deal with that and regroup. So please excuse my tardiness. I'm trying to get better. I'm going to cut just a tiny bit of that out. Like I said, I'm not real good at the fussy cutting. That's why I got the cut and scan machine. I know some of you really like it, and I really respect you guys for that. I just, not very good. Okay, so, oh, that was one of the wheels that popped out when I punched. Okay, so now we need to put together. Let's do our stamping for our greeting. And I got a piece of white cardstock. This is just a scrap out of my thing. And what I did is I measured this, and it was like to right there. So I know I need to stamp my saying right in that area because we are using the double oval punch to punch it out. And I had put off purchasing one, and I do craft sales. And it was like, why am I putting off on purchasing this? This would be so helpful for the craft sale items. So I finally got one. And you know, I'm really glad I did. I like it. So we are doing special delivery. Now, special delivery is, you'll notice right here, special is straight, delivery's at an angle. So just remember that when you're stamping and when you're cutting out, that you want the special to be straight. So I'm just gonna get that in here. There we go. And I got a simple chamois over on the side here that I'm wiping off my stamps with. And we'll close that up for right now. And we'll grab the punch. And turn it over, and let's see. All right, and I just want to get this in here so that the special is straight, right? There we go. I like punches because then I don't have to get up and go use the cut and emboss machine. Sometimes they're more handy. Okay, got that. I'll put that off to the side, that off to the side. And what we're gonna do, I don't need two of these. I don't know why I have two of them. You wanna make sure you have the right side up, which, you know, I can't really tell which one is right and which one isn't. Oh no. I really think I need to go get an eye exam. I can't tell anything anymore. I think that's the right side. So, okay. I'm just going to get a piece of tear and tape. And, oh, I think I used glue yesterday when I did this. But I'm not into making a mess today, so all my fingers. Okay. So, gives you a decent space around it, which I really like, so you can see the paper underneath it, not just a real tight fit. So there we go. That is on. So we want to get our card base now. We want to fold it in half with the mountain on the inside. And I like lining up my edges. See how straight I can get it. And get my bone folder and just go ahead and crease it. And let me get my Stampin' Seal. It's around here someplace. There it is. You know what? Before I started recording today, I told my husband, I said, I just don't feel very organized. And you know what? I forgot to, I forgot to cut out the tree. And I also normally prepare my stuff by putting tear and tape on the back ahead of time. I didn't do that either. So we are using this. And I put it along each edge because I like the papers to stick down. Let's see. I think that's about right. Yep, that's pretty straight too. That's pretty good for me. Okay, so I had a piece of designer series paper. I cut it down to 3 3¾ by 5 inches. And when I cut it, you know, I was thinking, oh, where do I want my tracking to be and everything. And I forgot to put my tracks on here, so we'll do that. I should have stamped it before I did this, but we'll do it now. So I want my stamp to go about right there. And here's my tracks. They're hard to see, but I'm using Early Espresso. Crumb cake would probably work too, but I'm gonna take it, and there is a flat line down at the bottom. So that's the bottom, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put that, because I write like so. And then I want to stamp again, but as you see, I forgot to do it before I put it on my red cardstock, so I need to protect my red cardstock. So I'm just gonna put that there. And And I'm going to stamp again. Hopefully it didn't dry off too much. Nope. And there we go. It's a little bit lighter right there. Okay, so set that over there. So that's it for the early espresso. So now we can go ahead and mount this onto the card base. And again, I just put my Stampin' Seal all the way around. The thing I like about tear and tape is I can get it closer to the edge to make sure it's sticking on the edge. But that's okay. Okay, make sure you put it on the right way. You don't want to put it on upside down. Not that any of us have ever done it, but that's why I don't use glue, and that's what undo is for. Okay, isn't that cool? And then we're gonna get some dimensionals. They're right over here someplace. And I'm going to use the regular size ones right here. I'm going to put 3 of them on here. 1 on each end and 1 in the middle, more up towards the top. And then I'm going to put it so the tire is right where the track is. It's a crooked road. It's a dirt road. You're out in the country getting a Christmas tree, so it has to be a dirt road, right? And then I want to get my tree. Now for my tree, I elected to use a mini dimensional because I wanted it to, you know, be able, in case somebody touched it, to move around because it's in a truck. It bounces around. You like that thinking? And I just used 1 down at the bottom, and then I just kind of slide it under here, and I had it go behind the truck too, like so. There we go. And now I'll use some dimensionals on my greeting because we have it all together. And I'm going to use 3 so that it doesn't get smashed in the middle when you mail it. And let's see, I want to be able to see that mountain, so I'll put it right about here. Okay, that's it for the dimensionals. Now, for the inside. I already stamped my truck and colored it because you've seen me color 1. You didn't need to see me color another one. Now, I didn't use blue on the windows, and I'm not going to at this point because I've already done red, and I don't want to take the chance of getting any blender pen on it. But that's okay. It's the inside. So now we need to stamp a couple more things. We need to, get this, we don't need this. We need to stamp our saying in there. And for that, we are using the Shaded Spruce. And we're also going to use the saying on the stamp set here, wishing you a festive Christmas. So there's this. Let me see. And this should be, yes. And let me show you the stamps before I forget. This is the case, and you can see how everything's lined up. Your presents, you know, your trees, your Christmas tree, your other trees. So everything is side by side of what it needs to be, of the other part that goes with it. So first we're going to do our saying. I'm going to, oops. And with the photopolymer, I can see how well I stamped it up, and if I want to do it more, I'm going to do it kind of off to the left side a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to keep that out because we're going to actually use it on the envelope. Okay, now this is Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to put some presents, or attempt to put some presents in the back of my truck. So I'm going to, and I don't stamp off on this at all when I'm doing it. Okay, now I don't want to put my head in the way, so it's going to be real hard for me to get this line down where it needs to be, so it looks like it's sitting, that you can't see the bottom of the present. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm just going to stamp it like so. Oh, perfect. and they're not really on the truck. Now this is the fill-in stamp, and it doesn't fill in the whole present. So I'm using the Azure Afternoon again, and you want to line up the present on the left and just with the bow up on top and everything, and see how straight you get it. And you want to hold it down about 5 seconds. Hey, I did pretty good on that one. This is photopolymer stamps. That's why we have the Stampin' Pierce mat underneath it. So I'll set these. Oh, I got to clean these because we're going to use these again. Matter of fact, before I finish the inside of the card, let's go ahead and stamp our envelope. So the present's clean. At least I think I'm using the presents again. Let me see, where's my envelope? There we go. Okay, now for my envelope, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and stamp the truck outline and do, you know, I was wondering why I had it out yesterday. I thought, oh, I'm done with it. You know, I don't need it for the video. And guess what? I did. That's okay. Okay, and we're gonna use the Royal Red again for, well, not again, but we're gonna use the Royal Red for stamping the truck. Now I stamp the bottom left-hand corner of my envelope, stamp that up, and just put that right here. There we go. Isn't that nice? Now I'm not filling it in. I'm just leaving it just like that. And then I'm gonna take my shaded spruce and we're gonna try the presents again. You could do the tree if you want to. I just kind of like the presents. So stamp that. Now see, I'm more likely, when it comes to the truck, I'm more likely to hand color my trucks than use the the colored stamp, just because I enjoy the coloring. And it only takes me about 6-7 minutes to do the truck. Okay, there we go. Our envelope is done and ready. So I'll set that aside for a moment. Get these stamps out of my way so I don't put my fingers on my card in it. We're done with that. So we need these 2 pieces because I'm doing a red mat for my inside also. Now, if you wanted to, you could have, and I actually thought of this after I had already punched that map around my saying. Oh no, you can't do it. I was going to say, normally I punch them out of the center of the cards, but see, you can't really do that here because if you do, you're going to be you have to make sure you don't, it just with the double oval, you can't do that. So that's why I didn't do it. I knew there was a reason. Okay, and we just center that on here. Kind of centered. Close enough. As they say, they're homemade. And then put your stamping seal all the way around. And then center this on the inside. And there you go. You have a beautiful Christmas card, and it doesn't take that long. So here's my 2 cards. Oh, embellishments. Let's not forget that. This adhesive back snowflakes. All right. Let's see. I wonder about the gold. What do you think? Gold? I know. I think those are copper clay, or no, they're not copper. Yeah, I think those are a copper clay color. Aren't they pretty? Let's try, the white doesn't show up real good on this piece of paper for some reason. So let's try the gold on this one. Let's see, what do you think? I think it works. And I use one of each size. Let's see, we'll do one. Whoops, I need to put it on the right side. There we go. And then I do a little one. Let's see, I could do it right here or up there. What do you think? We'll put it right down here. I was covering up a spot of red ink on that one. So that's what embellishments are good for, covering up stray spots of ink. So there we go. There are both of the cards. They look a lot alike. This is the one we just did, and this is the one that was done prior to the video. And then we got our envelopes for each card. That's the one we just did. And this one, let me move this out of the way. And this one right here. And let's just open this one instead so you can see the inside because they're identical. And as you can see, I didn't get the presents down far enough on that one. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed these. And if you buy the stamp set because of me, I would sure like it if you would purchase from me at my website is bonniestamps.com, and my host code is listed on there. And I do send out 2 emails a week with the link for my video card, along with what's happening at Stampin' Up. And I send out another free tutorial that I don't do a video on at the end of the week. This one usually comes out on Tuesday mornings, and the other one comes out on Friday mornings, if all's going well. And if there's any updates in between the week, I also email you about it if it can't wait. So thank you for joining me today. I'm happy you did, and I wish you a very blessed week and all good things. Thank you much. Bye.